Hey guys, welcome to Killer Outbreaks.
It's just after Mother's Day when Cheyenne Wilkins gets sicker than she's ever been.
Cheyenne was just very lethargic. She wasn't herself. She was white. We didn't know what was wrong with her. She was
Poor
getting
kid.
like spots and stuff all over her body. They said it was scarlet fever.
In quarantine, Cheyenne's condition worsens. She floats in and out of consciousness, and her fever climbs to a dangerous level.
She had the 107 fever for 3 days solid. They couldn't break it.
She was hooked up to about everything she possibly could be hooked up to.
As the doctors scramble to make a diagnosis, they make a shocking discovery.
She had a pox all throughout the inside of her body.
The pustules are swelling her throat and threatening to suffocate the little girl. What doctors don't yet know is that this disease is not only spreading within young Cheyenne, it's also begun to spread across the country. In days, her mother Tammy becomes feverish as well. Angry, painful pustules break out all over her skin.
My arms were just covered. My legs were covered. My stomach was covered. I had them from head to toe.
Cheyenne is also covered in lesions, and the family is becoming alarmed.
I don't blame them. That must
She
be
was
scary.
obviously in worse condition than I was. I rushed her to the hospital. And as I laid her down on the ER table, she went into a seizure. And it took them an hour and a half to stabilize her. They said if I would have been 2 minutes later, they would not have been able to revive her.
As they work on her child, doctors can't help but notice that Tammy is covered in hundreds of lesions as well.
And they were looking at my wife, and they pointed out the one on my eyebrow that I didn't see.
In quarantine, Cheyenne's condition worsens. She floats in and out of consciousness, and her fever climbs to a dangerous level.
She had the 107 fever for 3 days solid. They couldn't break it.
She was hooked up to about everything she possibly could be hooked up to.
As the doctors scramble to make a diagnosis, they make a shocking discovery.
She had a pox all throughout the inside of her body.
The pustules are swelling her throat and threatening to suffocate the little girl. What doctors don't yet know is that this disease is not only spreading within young Cheyenne, it's also begun to spread across the country.
When the doctor told me we weren't taking our daughter home, that was indescribable. I'd never felt anything that horrible in my life.
3 days after arriving at the hospital, Cheyenne lapses into a coma, and the disease is cropping up elsewhere. In Wisconsin, a little girl also named Cheyenne arrives at the Marshfield Clinic with the same eruption of pus-filled lesions.
The bumps that Shane got were bubbly looking, kind of like a blisters. It looked painful looking at it.
She was so weak, she just laid there kind of limp. And I told my husband, I says, I wish I could get it just so I could have them take the biopsies on me instead of her.
So Tammy Keltzer does the unthinkable.
And you do for your kids. I mean that in a positive way.
Hoping to contract whatever disease Cheyenne is suffering from. She crawls into bed with her daughter and spends the night holding Cheyenne tight.
It's something any mother would do to take the pain away from their children.
Tammy does contract the disease, and doctors take tissue samples of her swollen lymph nodes, sparing Cheyenne from the painful procedure.
No idea that there were other outbreaks going on elsewhere. In fact, it wasn't until Molly Hinshaw at the University of Wisconsin called me to say, guess what? I just saw the exact same thing here in Milwaukee, that we knew anything about them. As soon as we received word that this was not an isolated event, I think we were all pretty worried.
As word of additional cases spreads, Tammy's lymph node culture returns a result that alarms the medical community. This is a pox outbreak.
The way the spots look, it can be no other thing except monkeypox, and I hate it's monkeypox.
Their worst fear is a return of smallpox, the most deadly disease in human history. The diagnosis on the Couch's tissue sample comes in. It's not smallpox, it's monkeypox. A deadly cousin of smallpox, monkeypox has never been seen in the United States. The pressure is on. 14 people in the Midwest are now suffering from the harrowing virus. While investigators race to find the source, more and more monkeypox victims fill hospitals in Midwest. With 43 patients across 7 states now being treated for the life-threatening disease, the media gets a hold of the story.
The U.S. government took new action today to try to prevent the spread of monkeypox. The outbreak expanded today to 15 states with about 50 human cases.
As panic spreads across the country, CDC investigators narrow down their search. Because monkeypox has been transmitted from animals to humans in Africa, they focus on animals that victims may have come into contact with prior to their illness.
Reptile show, and he had called me and told me that they had prairie dogs. So I told him to grab a pair and bring him home.
The male, he got sick probably within 3 days after he got home. He started sneezing.
It died. And then the second one died. We were supposed to have a 7-day money back guarantee if anything's wrong with the animal.
That's so sad.
So I told him to freeze that one.
Tests on both families' deceased pets quickly confirmed that both prairie dogs died of monkeypox. Investigators are confident that they found the immediate cause of the little girl's infections. They get a hit. Both little girls named Cheyenne had recently been given the same type of exotic pet.
That's a prairie dog.
On Mother's Day weekend,
I think.
we have 2 prairie dogs.
Yeah.
Named Chuckles and Chewy. Cheyenne had picked up one of the prairie dogs, and I told her to put it back because it looked like it had a cold or something. And while she was walking back to its cage, she put it away. It had bitten her. The doctor asked where the animal was now, and we told him that it died. And he got almost frantic.
That's great. I'm being
Nearly
sarcastic.
500 miles away, the unusual type of rodent had also joined the Wilkins family.
Reptile show, and he had called me and told me that they had prairie dogs. So I told him to grab a pair and bring him home.
The male, he got sick probably within 3 days after he got home. He started sneezing.
It died. And then the second one died. We were supposed to have a 7-day money back guarantee if anything's wrong with the animal.
That's so sad.
So I told him to freeze that one.
Tests on both families' deceased pets quickly confirmed that both prairie dogs died of monkeypox. Investigators are confident that they found the immediate cause of the little girl's infections. Back in Indiana, 6-year-old Cheyenne Wilkins suddenly emerges from her coma.
That's great.
And she
My
was
mom's
like,
crying if you're
"Mom,"
wondering.
I was talking to her. And I said, Cheyenne, do you want some food? Of course, she didn't answer me. And I had just turned around and I heard, Mommy, I'm hungry. And I like running out of the room screaming at the nurses. She's awake, she's awake, she's hungry.
After months of physical therapy, Cheyenne is able to walk again and recovers all normal function.
That's good.
Something to talk about. All to the news and just made me famous in a way that I didn't want to be.
In Wisconsin, Cheyenne Counselor also wins her battle with monkeypox.
That's also great.
When she was getting better, I had said, well, one of those medications must have worked. And that's when I told her, no, none of them worked. She just got better on her own.
I think fairy dogs are still cool, but I really wouldn't want to have another one again.
I don't blame you.
None are carriers of monkeypox. When they compare the lists, only one animal appears on both. The African giant pouched rat.
I like the term rodent of interest. It actually
She's
been
cool.
imported into the country. And that really raised our suspicions that they might have acquired monkeypox in Africa, been incubating it during the trip over, and then exposed to other animals.
I had extra sushi, so that's the reason I didn't do the sushi well. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you like it. I'll see you next time.